A 4-week holiday to South America in March 2020 started with a flight to Buenos Aires for a few days sightseeing, and then a 2-day trip to see the Iguazu Falls, which are located at the northern tip of Argentina and right on the Brazilian border. We were able to view the falls from both countries in the 2 days we were there. We returned to Buenos Aires to start a 2-week cruise aboard the Holland American ship the Zaandam. Our planned cruise itinerary was to Montevideo, the Falkland Islands, Punta Arenas, Ushuaia, sail through the Beagle Channel, around Cape Horn, and then turn north and cruise through Glacier Alley up to Santiago. At Santiago, we were due to fly to Lima for a 9-day tour of Peru and then fly home. March 2020 being a significant date, unfortunately the planned itinerary changed at Punta Arenas and we were unable to continue the rest of our schedule. However, that was not the end of our holiday, in inverted commas. Unable to dock anywhere, as all countries locked down, we were forced to sail straight to Valparaiso, which is the port for Santiago, where we took on provisions to take us to an unknown destination. Life on board was enjoyable at this stage, and we were happy to keep on cruising. However, just after we left Valparaiso, the dreaded news came through that we had COVID-19 on board and everyone was to isolate in their cabins. That isolation lasted for 2 weeks, locked in our cabin, until we were finally given permission to dock at Fort Lauderdale in Florida, from where we had a very uncomfortable charter flight home. So let's start at the beginning of the holiday, arriving in Buenos Aires. The scene at Buenos Aires airport, where everybody's finding their collection points. Our hotel in Buenos Aires. This morning we're off on a sightseeing tour. La Boca, main government buildings, and Racoleta.
the next leg of our trip. We've left Buenos Aires and we've now flown up to see the Iguazu Falls. We arrive at the Gran Melia Hotel and this is the view from our room. A fantastic view of the falls.
The following morning, we woke up to this amazing sunrise and then spent the rest of the day enjoying the falls.
off from Iguazu Airport on our way back to Buenos Aires after having the most fantastic 2 days looking at the Iguazu Falls. We have now boarded our ship Zandam, and this is the tug that's going to help us get out of the harbour. It's raining now in Buenos Aires, but still quite warm. We can now see back to the city. Exceptionally tight turn backing out. I don't know how he managed to get the bow around. For the off from Montevideo, and the ropes have been let loose. Quite dark clouds over Montevideo as we prepare to leave. This looks like our tug. Arrival at the Falklands, and it's pretty bleak. Appropriate weather for what we think the Falklands would be like. We're taking one of the tenders this morning, going over to Port Stanley, which we can see there in the distance, and then on to the Penguin Colony.
Rule Britannia, Britannia rules the waves. Britons never, never, never shall be slaves. Off the coast of Argentina, our island's midst the deep, with 1,800 people and 500,000 sheep. The day they were invaded, everybody learned the name. A barren little colony had got a bit of fame. We stocked our ships full of British beer and bullets. We mobilised the navy and we called out the marines. We sailed 2 weeks till we reached the Falkland Islands, so we could teach a lesson to those bloody Argentines. Maggie Thatcher was awakened in the middle of the night. She heard the Argentinians was falling for a fight. She summoned up her cabinet and met with the MPs and sent the pride of Britain to those stormy southern seas. We stocked our ships full of British beer and bullets. We mobilised the navy and we called up the marines. We sailed 2 weeks till we reached the Falkland Islands, so we could teach a lesson to those bloody Argentines. Well, in came the Yanks, who had to have a say, so they sent Al Haig down Buenos Aires way. He shuttled to and fro, always managing to smile. The Argies still refused to leave that barren British Isle. So we stocked our ships full of British beer and bullets. We mobilised the Navy and we called up the Marines. We sailed 2 weeks till we reached the Falkland Islands, so we could teach a lesson to those bloody Argentines. Well, the whole world watched as the British fleet drew near, and the battle for the Falklands was finally here. We sank their ships, brought down their aeroplanes, and taught those cheeky archers not to mess with us again. We stocked our ships full of British beer and bullets. We mobilised the Navy and we called up the Marines. We sailed 2 weeks till we reached the Falkland Islands, so we could teach a lesson to those bloody Argentines. All the local girls were waiting when Prince Andy disembarked. He had a reputation that he liked to have a lark. They covered him with kisses, they walked him in the grass. He said he never saw a better piece of British land. So we stocked our ships full of British beer and bullets. We mobilised the Navy and we called up the Marines. We sailed 2 weeks till we reached the Falkland Islands, so we could teach a lesson to those bloody Argentines. We stocked our ships full of British beer and bullets. We mobilised the Navy and we called up the Marines. We sailed 2 weeks till we reached the South Atlantic, so we could teach a lesson to those bloody Argentines.
In my heart there's the calm of the isle far away, where the wind from the horn often wanders and flies, where the couch moves and swells to the wind and the skies, and penguins swoop down from the lonely hillside. Those isles of the sea are calling to me. The smell of the campfire, a dear memory. Though far I may roam, someday I'll come home to the islands of Falkland, the isles of the sea. My heart there's the cold of the isle far away, where the wind from the horn often wanders and flies, where the couch moves and swells to the wind and the skies, and penguins swoop down from the lonely hillside. Those isles of the sea are calling to me. Smell of the campfire, a dear memory. Though far I may roam, someday I'll come home to the islands of Falkland, the isles of the sea. In my heart there's the song of the isle far away, where the wind from the horn often wanders and flies, where the couch moves and swells to the wind and the skies, and penguins swoop down from the lonely hillside. Those isles of the sea are calling to me. Smell of
docked in Punta Arenas. Grey morning. We've got a day here to take a city tour. Zandam in Puerto Arenas.
red daubing was the result of protests held the day before.
In Valparaiso to take on fuel and supplies. This is an unscheduled stop due to coronavirus and us not being able to dock anywhere at the moment.
You're all alone and life is making you lonely, but you cannot go downtown. No massive bodies, no more noise and no hurry, they are all at home. Locked down, just listen to the silence, there's no traffic in the city. Stillness on the sidewalk, save the odd marauding kitty. Nobody there. This virus has changed the way we live. Forget about outside, won't happen today. We're in lockdown. We'll beat Corona in lockdown. Keep to your own, stay in lockdown. Everyone's counting on you. outside and let the danger surround you. Just watch TV shows. Homebound, maybe you'd like to visit places you went to, but they've all been closed. Locked down, just listen to the radio, read books or take up knitting. Being outside is dangerous, you're better off here sitting. Just stay at home until there's a good vaccine. Self-isolation will help to beat COVID-19.